Hello there. Welcome to Must Knows Before You Die. This season, we're talking about all the things I wish I had known in my 20s. As somebody who just graduated from their 20s, I am 30 now. We're talking about all the things that would make our 20s well used and successful. And today, we're talking about health habits. Before we begin, a little disclaimer. Everything in this episode is based on my experience, what has helped me. I'm not a healthcare professional. Please talk to your doctor before implementing any of this. Okay, disclaimer done. Let's get into it. Health is the foundation for everything we do. It's a simple truth that often gets overlooked, especially in our 20s, when we feel invincible. But here is the reality. If we don't have our health, we really don't have anything. And I'm not just talking about avoiding the flu or serious illnesses or staying in shape. I'm talking about the deep connection between our physical and mental health and our overall well-being. They're like two sides of the same coin, aren't they? They affect each other. And we don't often realize until it's too late. Let me take you back to my teenage years. Like many of you, I had high school physical exercise classes. And for me, they were nothing more than just a chore. Something to endure rather than enjoy. I barely worked out at all. And honestly, I didn't even see the point. Fast forward to my early 20s, I found myself struggling with poor mental health. Depression, anxiety, stress, you name it. I was battling it. It wasn't until I started working out just at home, nothing too sophisticated, that I noticed the real difference. The biggest shift, it was a simple routine, something I can do at home, but I started to move my body. And I saw a real difference in both my physical health and mental health. I was just doing something simple, like cardio, walking, or running every day just to get out of my home. And something for strength. I was doing squats and flexibility training, stretching, and sometimes yoga classes from YouTube. I was doing it for vanity reasons to get some sort of shape. But the biggest difference for me, the biggest benefit was feeling better mentally. It helped me clear my mind. I felt capable. It was a confidence boost. I stood and moved better, both physically and mentally. I began to stand a little taller, not just because my muscles were stronger, but because my confidence was growing too. I started to like it, actually. I started to crave that muscle ache the day after a challenging workout. Here is something crucial. When you set a goal and achieve it, even if it's something small, such as completing a workout, you're building a reputation with yourself. You're proving to yourself that you're someone to be trusted. Someone who does what they say. The small act can snowball into a massive boost in self-esteem. It's it's no coincidence that people who take care of their bodies often report better self-esteem, healthier relationships, and more successful careers. It's all about creating a cycle of positivity and success. And it's not just about working out. The fuel that we're putting into our body also matters. I'll admit, this is the area where I sometimes fall behind, but the beauty is that you don't have to be perfect with it. You don't have to be perfectly consistent with exercise or food. But the difference in my energy, focus, and mood when I eat natural foods, foods that come from nature and not a factory, is staggering. The simpler the food, the better. I know it's hard because processed foods are made to taste blissful. It's what gets you to come back again and again to have it. That's why processed foods usually make us crave them even just after eating. It's about training our body to crave things that are good for us. One book that really changed my perspective was a book called Slim for Life by Julian Michaels. I remember a couple years back, and it's one of those books that there is me before the book, especially health-wise, and there is me after the book, because it made such a huge difference. Before I read it, I hadn't thought much about organic foods, but the insights in the book made a significant difference in my health journey. The rule of thumb is that fruits and vegetables with hard skins like oranges, mangoes, pineapples, and root vegetables like potatoes and carrots don't need to be bought organic. Their thick skins protect them from pesticides. But for fruits with thin skins, like tomatoes, apples, berries, we should go organic whenever possible. They tend to have higher levels of pesticides that change the hormones in our body, making us gain weight and making our brain feel foggy. It is something that stuck in my mind and a rule that I try to follow till now. I wouldn't try to be perfect about it again. It's just good to know what to choose whenever we have the option. In some areas, some countries don't use a lot of pesticides anyway. So don't let food become another stress point. Simplify your diet so that it takes the least amount of thought. Prioritize natural, whole foods over anything that comes from bakery or contains artificial sugars. The less mental energy you spend on worrying about what to eat, the more you can focus on other areas of life. It should be automatic so that your day-to-day doesn't revolve around choosing what to eat. Once in a while, it's okay to stray away. It doesn't have to be perfect. Our body can handle the occasional birthday cake. It just shouldn't be every day. And here is something fascinating that we often overlook. The foods we eat don't just fuel our bodies, they also fuel our gut bacteria. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about gut bacteria? Here is the deal. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria that play a massive role in your health, especially mental health. This community of microorganisms often called gut microbiome, are like the control center for our bodies. When we eat foods rich in fiber, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, we are feeding the good bacteria in our gut. These bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that have shown to reduce inflammation, improve brain function, and even boosts our mood. On the flip side, diets high in processed foods and sugar can disrupt this balance, leading to issues like brain fog, mood swings, and even depression. There is an emerging research suggesting that our gut health can influence our IQ, our ability to think clearly, our resilience against mental health challenges like anxiety and depression. So, if there is one thing to remember from this episode, it is this: take care of your gut, and it will take care of you. Another game changer for me, intermittent fasting. It's just a complicated sounding name. It just means eating within a certain window of time during the day. Intermittent fasting isn't about starving ourselves or obsessively counting hours. For me, it's about eating lunch and then an early dinner, making sure my last meal is at least 4 hours before I go to bed. This way, my body isn't busy digesting when I'm trying to fall asleep, which helps me improve sleep quality and overall health. The beauty of intermittent fasting, as I practice it, is its simplicity. It has made my life so much easier. There's just way less planning about what to eat. I just like huge meals also, so I can eat as much as I want without worrying about the calories. I just eat as much natural food as I want between lunch and dinner, and simply don't think about food the rest of the hours. This approach has been incredibly helpful for both my physical and mental health, and it saves me a lot of time. I've heard concerns about intermittent fasting, especially for women. Some people say it might disrupt your hormones, but for me personally, I haven't noticed anything other than improved health, and a lot of other women also swear by it. But definitely do your due diligence. Your body is different than mine, and talk to your doctor. Sometimes when I'm trying to cut back on coffee and I don't drink coffee in the morning, I notice that I get hungry already like an hour after getting up. So drinking coffee on empty stomach has also helped me curb hunger in the morning hours so that I can stick to my schedule. The only thing to be careful with is not to eat sugary or processed foods first thing after fasting, because they would skyrocket your blood sugar, which affects your hormones and really contributes to diabetes and other health issues if done frequently. Dessert is after a meal for a reason, and it's good to always have foods rich in protein or good healthy fats first thing. Now let's switch gears and let's talk about mental health, because like the food we consume, what we consume mentally also matters. I used to be someone who would get lost in endless scrolling Well, I kind of do sometimes too, but over time, I realized that being more selective about what I consume makes a huge difference. So now I really try to choose the hours where I can scroll as much as I want. That's about 15 to 30 minutes per day. And I'm really selective about what I subscribe to, what kind of feed is coming on my phone screen. I like to have content where I learn something or I'm entertained in a positive way, whether it is comedy or music, where the takeaway is not that the world is a terrible place, other people cannot be trusted, I feel hopeless. There is so much good happening in the world every day. There are so many kind people. There are a lot of people that are discovering important things, helping, huge amounts of people, making the world a better place. And we don't hear about those things. We hear about, the negativity, the hate, the hopelessness. And it's very, very important to be very selective about what we consume if we want to have a healthy mental state. Even if we listen to the news once in a while, it's good to stick to what makes us feel empowered most of the time. And let's not do that every day, for so many hours. Limiting media consumption is hugely important. We live in a world where we are constantly plugged into our devices, scrolling through endless stream of content. But what if we unplugged for a moment and turned inward? What time do we focus on our internal world? Because we all have a lot of ideas. What do you have to say? At what time do you focus on that? What are you feeling right now? What is important to you at this moment, at this time? What do you have to create? Because we're all creatives as well. We all have a lot to contribute. And instead of consuming, we can focus on activities that would help us express ourselves and are also enjoyable, like painting or writing or physical things like running or just sitting and noticing our thoughts. Meditation doesn't have to be this grand mystical experience or practice. It can simply be about sitting with yourself and noticing your thoughts, emotions, and the state of your body and mind. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, taking a few minutes to check in with yourself can be revolutionary. What are your true opinions? Which problems can you solve? Asking ourselves questions and getting curious about our internal world is very, very important. These kinds of questions are often drawn out by the noise of daily life, but they're crucial for maintaining our well-being and getting to know ourselves. Now, last but not least, another important thing for general well-being is, drumroll, sleep. I know, we all know that we need it, but how many of us actually prioritize it? Sleep isn't just for rest. It's the time for our body to recharge, repair, and reset. During sleep, our body processes the day's experiences. It consolidates memories and it clears out toxins. When you don't get enough quality sleep, everything suffers. Your mood, your ability to think clearly, even your physical health. So, practical tip, let's get a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Our body thrives on routines. And by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, we're setting ourselves up for better quality of sleep. If you struggle with falling asleep, consider a wind down routine that includes turning off screens at least an hour before bed and reading a book or practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing, gentle stretching, maybe drinking some tea. So let's bring it all together. Health isn't just about hitting the gym or eating your greens. It's about understanding your physical and mental health are deeply connected and taking small, sustainable steps to nurture both. Whether it's finding a workout that boosts your confidence, makes you feel good, fuels your body, whether it is eating natural foods, or creating mental space through mindful practices, even small actions add up. In our 20s, it's easy to feel like we've got the time to figure this out later. We've already got energy, and it's easy to feel invincible. But the truth is, the habits we build now lay the foundation for the rest of our lives. So why not start today? Make your health a priority, and not just for the sake of it, but because a healthy body and mind are the keys to fulfilling, successful, and joyful life. This has been a Mess Before You Die. This is Nia, and see you next week.